What's up guys, this is Dylan Easley. I wanted to give you a quick rundown on mounting your holster and your mount to your belt. I'm going to use the 3-gun model here to show how to do that, but that'll also work with the USPSA gamer model here. For the most part, what I like to let people know is I use 1 spacer with the 3-gun model and then 2 spacers with the USPSA gamer model. The reason being, you can see a little extra width built out in the 3-gun model, and with 1 spacer you're at the same distance from the belt with both. So still nice and comfortable. The only tools you're going to need: Phillips head screwdriver and the Allen wrench that they include in shipping. Alright, so the basic parts here that Weber's going to send you is going to be these what we call Chicago screws. You're going to have spacers. Usually 1 to 2 of these are going to ship with it. Female mount is what I use on this side. I like to use the male mount on the belt. You're going to have an Allen screw. Then you're going to have your holster, which is going to be drilled for somewhat of a universal pattern. So if you want to use a Blade Tech hanger, Safari Land hanger, G-code hanger, whatever, they should fit on here perfectly fine. You'll notice that spacer aligns with all of those. And the pattern that I like to use on here is these 4 for the Weber mount. So what we're going to do, start by pushing one of those through. And I will start one of these to make things a little bit easier, because I can hold the female Chicago screw from the bottom, thread it in from the top. Now it's held in place and it's easier for me to work with the rest of them. Bring the next one in. As you get these and you find the mounting location that you like, simply go through, add a little bit of blue Loctite, lock them in place so that the screw can't back out. So now that's in position for where I want it on my belt. As I go and slide it into the male mount, my thumb screw here will lock into that retention opening in the male piece, and you're ready to go. Alright, so here's the belt mount and the male QD mount. You can see the slot here that the screw goes in, or the thumb screw for the holster. This is height adjustable, so you can raise and lower it here. I do, because in 3-gun we don't have a lot of requirements as to distance from the belt or height, so I usually use the lowest setting on here. On the back of it, because you have slot on one side and holes on the other, you can pivot slightly if you like. And I do usually pivot just a hair, just to give a little bit of a forward cant to the holster, for the 3-gun holster at least. Maybe not as much for the USPSA holster. But mounting to your belt, you need to pick where you want to mount to your belt first. This is a location that I picked that is based around where I hooked the other QD mounts, and those are bolted directly to the belt for my Carbon Arms caddies, Weber mag pouches, and stuff like that. This location works really well. I did use a piece of, it's kind of like your shrink tape for electrical work, and picked this up at Lowe's. I was able to shrink it down onto this location and kind of increase the thickness of the belt as well as the height just a hair, and gives a really nice tight fit to the mount for the belt. If you have a regular CR Speed double alpha type belt, then the thickness there is already what you need and you don't need to worry about that. But what what I like to do is basically see if you can get it here. I'll go ahead and put that in place. Bring the back plate on. And then this one is an earlier model. The earlier models used Phillips head screws. The new models have Allen head screws. But I usually treat this kind of like if I were putting lug nuts on a car. I'm going to work opposing aspects here. Otherwise I can open one side up to where now I can't get this side closed anymore. And you can use a little blue Loctite here if you want to, but I haven't found that to be necessary yet. Set those to nice tight setting, and we're going to mount on here your piece for your holster. So on your holster, you're going to have this large opening here. Then on the side, you're going to have your place for your set screw to go in. That's going to come in just like this. So if you need to use that as a guide as to how to mount it, do that. Otherwise, this is going to go toward the back. Or if you're wrong-handed, it's going to go toward the front. So I like to use the lowest setting on here. I go ahead and just set the screw into that hole. You can see it sticking out there. Then I'm going to use one in the slot here. And what you'll notice about the screws is that they have a lock washer on them that gets a good bite to it. And I give just a little bit of a cant to it. Not a lot. 3 to 4 degrees at the most. Good and tight there. Let the lock washer bite in. Now you're ready to go. So once you have that set on your belt, take your holster here. Those two will slide together. On the underside here, you'll see how that fits. Take your thumb screw, or if you have your set screw with an Allen head wrench, tighten that down, and that is about as rigid as you're going to possibly get on a belt. So, which is kind of nice. You can take off running without having to worry about it flopping, hitting your side. I did the entire tactical games with this setup with absolutely no issues, and we did a hell of a lot more than what you'd find in a typical 3-gun match, including rope climbs 18 feet high. So, super easy setup to do. Just a matter of putting it together, getting it set how you want. Change the height if you need. Some people do like a taller height so that they can have it higher like the carry gun. Other people like a lower height like me because I don't need to have it any higher and it's comfortable here and it's quick enough. Good luck to you.